The utterly vile Bondi Beach attack leaves numerous disturbing questions about the government's bizarre response. Did the police respond quickly enough? The Bondi police station was a 4-minute walk from the beach. Legacy media coverage insists the police responded very quickly, but one eyewitness tells a different story.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes, there was 2 shooters, one on the bridge, one under the bridge, and just started to shoot. For 20 minutes they shoot, change magazine and just shoot. Simple as that. 20 minutes was 4 policemen there, nobody give fire back, nothing, like they are froze, like for, it looked like 20 minutes.
We know that at one point a brave local disarmed one of the attackers.
Oh! It's a man.
Hero, without a doubt. But should he have taken him out there and then? Because the terrorist walked away, picked up another gun and continued the shooting. Why didn't the police take him out when he was unarmed? The authorities were keen to shut down such questions with vehemency.
Just standing there included that police, up to 4 police were standing around one of the active shooters, not giving fire back, just standing there. An eyewitness said that it was like they froze.
James, no, sorry, hang on a sec. I'm just going to stop you there. I'm not going to speculate on that right now.
And this isn't to take away from the police who eventually did take out the attackers. Thank God for them. And I'd be very careful about claiming these female police officers froze. Looks to me like they're just directing panicked onlookers. Others say these women literally saved lives. A coward hiding. Yeah, not really sure about that. I mean, it's a shootout with literal terrorists. She's not just going to be blasé walking around out in the open, is she? I mean, am I being too forgiving? Let me know in the comments. Some of the language used in the aftermath was very weird though. Their Prime Minister responding to an Islamic terror attack by 2 Pakistani Muslims by highlighting the threat of the right wing.
Director General of Asia has warned about a range of threats, be it anti-Semitism, the rise of right-wing extremist groups as well.
Talk about burying the lead.
What is the #1 priority for you?
Threats of other occurrences, such as the rise in the far right.
Yeah, why is that a priority given that 75% of your terror attacks are Islamic? A figure that's even higher now. I also keep hearing them being described as offenders.
One of the offenders has also been killed.
They're terrorists, just call them terrorists. While some people claim the police response was slow, the government's attempt to censor social media footage of the attack was swift, with the e-safety commissioner quickly organising to ensure its removal, highlighting again how one of the state's primary interests in the wake of such attacks is to try to steer and control the public's reaction.
What is your message to the people watching on at home?
I think, first of all, don't let disinformation and misinformation ever rule the day. Listen to sources of truth, listen to the information, don't circulate things that exacerbate and take us down an even darker path.
An even darker path? What could be darker than the fact that our governments have imported monsters who are capable of this?
The father arrived in 1998 on a student visa, transferred in 2001 to a partner visa, and after each trip overseas since then has been on resident return visas.
But the son wasn't a migrant.
The son is an Australian-born citizen.
Seems that Naveed Akram was born in Australia, so the xenophobes can probably pipe down about now. Right, so he was supposedly one of the well-integrated, assimilated ones. That's even worse. Just your average local Sydney man. His mother, after the attack, insisting that he was really a good boy. We can't live with these people. Obvious signs of narrative control were in full swing less than an hour after the incident happened, with UK Labour MP Lola McAvoy absurdly insisting that the real takeaway should be that diversity's our greatest strength.
So the escalation of this narrative of who we're against and how much we want to divide each other and how much we want to attack each other, that is really at the core of a lot of the problems that we have in the country at the moment. And I firmly believe that people are good and that given the opportunity they will look out for each other. And I just want to say that as much as possible we should try and detoxify the way that we think of people who aren't like us, because our diversity in this country is our strength.
Good Lord above. 2 Islamic terrorists have just massacred a bunch of people on a beach, and your first instinct is to demand that what? we be nicer to Muslims? Literally doing the Norm Macdonald meme. I urge you to think of the impact on the Muslim and indeed the wider community. This is why we call it civilizational suicidal empathy.
And I firmly am on the side of working together and celebrating our difference, because, you know, I was a community organiser a long, long time ago, and the strongest campaigns that we ever worked on were about bringing people of different faiths and different worldviews and different backgrounds together to find what we had in common.
Yeah, holding hands and singing Don't Look Back in Anger. We've tried that. Doesn't work. Time for a new approach? I guess not. After all, we wouldn't want to jeopardise the precious exotic street cuisine and dance moves.
Living in a monocultural society, it would be so boring. The food would be all the same. If we walked down Rundle Street and went out for a feed, there'd be all the same restaurants. I couldn't think of anything worse. The music would have no richness and colour. We wouldn't see different dance performances like we've already seen just in the last few moments. We are so lucky. We are so fortunate to be able to have this here. And I say we should retain our dedication towards it. Multiculturalism doesn't add to South Australia. Multiculturalism is at the heart of who we are as South Australians.
Because what value is free speech, social cohesion and basic safety up against the wondrous phenomenon of multiculturalism?
Australia doesn't have the free speech laws that are in place in America, and for one very important reason, because we have developed a multicultural community where it doesn't matter what your faith or your religion is, you must live side by side with your neighbour in peace.
Wow, we've created a paradise. You know what it's missing though? Inevitably, not all Muslims was trending on X. Help, I'm getting bitten to death by ants. Not all ants. And the Islamophobia hotline must have been ringing off the hook. While there was absolutely zero conversation about Islamism or mass migration, the esteemed authorities immediately zeroed in on two priorities: speech control and gun control. New hate speech laws to restrict freedom of expression are a shoo-in. Ditto for making it harder for law-abiding Australians to own firearms.
We're looking to recall Parliament as soon as possible to introduce legislation to crack down on gun ownership, but I'm determined to introduce the toughest gun legislation in the country.
The government is prepared to take whatever action is necessary. Included in that is the need for tougher gun laws.
I mean, to be really blunt, make it more difficult to get these horrifying weapons that have no practical use in our community.
Do you think
if you're not a farmer, if you're not involved in agriculture, why do you need these massive weapons that put the public in danger and make life dangerous and difficult for New South Wales Police?
I'm not sure, you know, maybe some good guys with guns would have saved a lot of lives in this situation.
We will do whatever it takes to force the strongest possible action from governments to keep Australians safe.
Turn in your firearms, we'll protect you. The protection every single time. Free speech restrictions and gun control. As if a hardened terrorist eager to commit an atrocity would be swayed by either of those things. How is it that one of the first world's most authoritarian governments could launch such a brutal crackdown on its own people for exercising their beliefs during COVID? Literally ban the world #1 tennis player from entering the country. Ban right-wing YouTubers from entering the country. Weaponise its intelligence agency, ASIO, to monitor people expressing anti-migration sentiment as potential terrorists. Yet when it comes to the revolting belief system that inspired this attack, which had reportedly been allowed to grow and fester, specifically in Sydney in the months before the attack, allow such demons to live amongst us and plan this horror. ASIO knew about the younger shooter being linked to ISIS as far back as 2019. Yet since 2019, they banned numerous prominent critics of Islam from entering Australia, while literally letting ISIS brides return, giving them Australian passports, while overseeing an immigration policy, the largest influx in Australia's modern history, which allowed hundreds of thousands of people to enter from countries like Pakistan and Afghanistan, where advocacy for extremist violence is a minority opinion, but still disturbingly high. Suffice to say, given that government officials are being heckled at memorials.
Blood on your hands, Tony Burke!
Shame, Tony Burke, shame!
Shame on you!
We're hearing some shouting in the background on Tony Burke, so it looks like Tony Burke might have just turned up. Is that right? Chris Kenny's here. Do we think Tony Burke has just turned up
if
and
we
he
want
is
to
being
pan the
heckled
camera, that's
at
okay
the
too.
scene of the memorial? Yes.
Yes.
So he's just walking out now. So everyone is yelling, "Shame on you, Tony Burke."
Much of the narrative being pushed by the authorities is likely to be at complete odds with how many ordinary Aussies feel.
I don't give a flying fuck who you pray to. I am not Islamophobic. I'll tell you what I'm phobic of. I'm phobic of people who want to kill us. Fuck these people. Put them on a shark food pontoon, send them on. Multiculturalism is a complete failure in this country.
If you value what I do and you want to help support me, please visit pauljosephwatson.locals.com and either pledge a one-time donation or subscribe to join my community, get early access videos and message me directly. And exclusive live streams coming soon too. Promise. Check out the Locals link down in the description. And don't forget to take a look at the brand new website modernity.news. That's where you'll find all my content, including exclusive articles. That's modernity.news.